Now, former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan is vouching for agricultural innovation to spur growth and mitigate against climate change. Speaking at the Safari Park Hotel in Nairobi, he noted that innovation is a necessity with an ever-increasing world population. In a keynote address during the African Conference on Agricultural Technologies, ACAT, he also intimated that the move would also help bridge the production gap, with the continent fast-tracking the attainment of self-sufficiency in food production.
7 a.m. It will be the
We must be part of the same conversation. We cannot think about our work and always come to present it to the private sector. We have to be in the design and sometimes in the implementation, so that they can be aware of what's coming out of our work and even indeed invest in some of the work that we do.
It is pertinent and obvious that farmers need to grow more food on less land, fight pests and diseases, navigate climate change, and maximize profit margins from their produce. Innovative technologies offer creative solutions to the changes we desire for our food systems.
As researchers and developers of technologies and innovation, the language we use to convince the private sector to invest, build the factory that's going to make the product, to invest and do the marketing. It's all about proving to them that it can be, that it will be profitable. And sometimes that is more than just calculations on your computer.
Now, as the world gets ready for the 28th Conference of Parties to be held in Dubai from the 24th to 29th of November, several heads of state, negotiators and civil society groups will be heading there to present and demand that action be taken towards lowering emissions, protecting ecosystems and demand that the loss and damages be paid. But even as days approach, just what is the African position on climate change? Dennis Aseto with more.
In Nairobi for the Africa Climate Summit earlier this year, the meeting saw several heads of state and different stakeholders engage in what would culminate to be the Nairobi Declaration, a document that holds Africa's position on climate change.
Africa Climate Summit is both a demonstration of the unwavering collective commitment of the people of Africa to their vision to make humanity's first home here in Africa a land of abundant potential.
The document saw African leaders call for urgent action by developed countries to reduce carbon emissions, propose a new financing mechanism to restructure Africa's crippling debt, and unlock climate funding.
The Nairobi Declaration was adopted to be the basis for Africa's common position.
Emissions remain the most important and sensitive issue when talking about climate change, and as such, the world must find a way to address this. Carbon credit continues to be one of the ways to address the emissions issue.
Carbon credits is a mechanism, a market mechanism, to be able to control the amount of emissions in the global space, meaning that those people who are emitting can be disincentivized.
Aside from negotiating for better terms and carbon credits, Africa must push for climate financing, an area that has seen promises made but little to no action done.
Africa getting what it's due to it, almost like reparations in a way. That's one angle, but there's also another angle of Africa coming up with technologies that use clean energy, that are very efficient.
So I think we need to be realistic and tell those countries which are producing the largest percentages of the climate change. We need to tell them they need to own up.
The road to COP28 is one that demands that African leaders come together with one voice and present a united front on climate change issues. With the backing of Nairobi Declaration, Africa has an opportunity of finally addressing climate change as a continent and not as individual countries. For KTN News, I'm Dennis Aseto.
Now, Rift Valley has been